Hi, James, your host from Vintage Bricks. We're back to the pirate theme, 1989 Fort Eldorado, and I have attempted to do the alternate build on the back of the box. See how I did? And I took lots of photos, so you could, if that helps you follow along, all the better. So come on in and enjoy. First, let's do a 360 spin of the box. On the back here are where the alternate builds are. We'll look at those a little closer, and in particular the one we're going to do. A magical feature of these early sets was the flip up lid on these boxes, and with clear cellophane you can look inside. I'll point to the two images we're going to use for our reference, which are critical to put this together. The one on the left and one on the right are, again, back of the box, and that's all we have to work with. I'll scan up from one of the images to give you an idea of what our working model's from. I'll do a quick take apart of our original set rapidly here, and I only use the pieces in the set. Now I'll show you some of the key steps that I thought might be helpful to have nice close-up images of these. Of course, the boxes are on the right there. Certainly a lot of experimentation going on here. You put pieces on, you look at the box, you go back and forth, you move things around. I use the image in the back of the box to do the bottom floor first. And there is this hatch that goes up, there's a portcullis that goes up, there's a prison on the right. So going back and forth, I pieced that together. Here's I'm working on the second floor, and not much depth to it, but I got the facing, I think, looking where I like it. Now the back of the fort, I had to use my imagination with the pieces I had left. A gun turret on the top and double doors on the bottom for Governor Broadside to come out of it. Here's a spin review of our back of the box build. A little bit of my own creation on the back, of course. Turned out nice. And there's the image on the right from the box and a photo of what we created. So if you're going to try this, I zoomed in a little bit so you can see some of the choices I made for the pieces. This is the second image on the back of the box. And from that angle, pretty close match. And we'll zoom in again so you can see that. The prison cell. Okay, here's my little video of the one moving part. It was pretty cool. I made a little portcullis here. I stuck a little bit, but I helped it down. Okay, let's look at the 8 minifigures. Of course, we had a Governor Broadside, Man About Town for these Imperial soldiers, and Lieutenant de Martinet. You can tell by his yellow epithet, he's the lieutenant. Had 4 of the basic soldiers with the pack on the back. Bosun Will, he was almost like an adopted child of Captain Redbeard, who had those incredible ships. Again, there are 8 minifigures with Governor Broadside. There he is as the one most valuable player here. And they're all lined up, ready. Of course, I think we're missing one soldier there. Almost lined up. Well, let's compare the alternate build with the original build. Now here I'm doing a stop motion of the one that I had instructions for, and how much more organized this goes when you go boom, boom, boom through the instructions. And again, another photo of the alternate build on the left with the original build on the right. A nice compliment if you are fortunate to have both these sets, or just take your old set, put it together, and then enjoy it for a while. And a spin of both of these. These are such iconic sets. Well, thank you for visiting Vintage Bricks, and please subscribe, and hope to see you soon. Oh, I got a little bonus here. An older video I did of a fuller review of the Eldorado fortress. Hi, today we're going to talk about set 6276 Eldorado Fortress. It's part of the theme of Imperial soldiers, so let's get to it. This is one set that really fits within a theme so beautifully. The theme, of course, is the Imperial soldiers. We have the Sabre Island, Lockup Lagoon, Broadside Brig, and of course the Clipper ship, the flagship Imperial ship here. And the color schemes of all of these match beautifully, I think better than we see in many of today's themes. The beauty of Now the fun part is a minifigure review. Minifigures really make the set in a lot of ways. Now it's important on these soldier guys. I'll put the Governor here. This is Governor Broadside, but he is unique to this set and to the Clipper ship. So I guess unique to two ships. Very interesting. The blue is important here because in this theme of Imperial soldiers, the guys are blue. Very reminiscent of the French Napoleonic guys, soldiers. And I'll bring up maybe a slide of that. Napoleon, you know, would be proud to have Governor Broadside on his team. Although that sounds a little English, or maybe not too proud. However, not to be outdone though with the English sounding name, we have Lieutenant Martinet, who does, you know, sound a little bit more French, to me at least. Probably is. And here he is. He's the guy that he's lieutenant, so he helped run the fort, day to day run the fort. The officers had the yellow epitaphs, where the regular guys had the red. So again, the blue's important. Later on, as time goes on, a couple of years later, Lego decided, hey, we're throwing out the blue and bringing in the red. And their ships changed, their forts changed, their flags turned red, and then they're called the Imperial Guards. So I'm not quite sure what all went on without trying to research that. So we have Broadside, we have Martinet, so he's good. And then now we just have some regular soldier guys. And here's one here, I'll put him up on my little stand. The soldier guy, the red epitaph, they have a little backpack on. Anyway, he was, because he worked on in a land base, he had these square or more cup-shaped hats. When they worked on a ship, they had the tri-fold hats, so a little bit different. So there's a bunch of these, just the regular worker bee. You'll see him all over there. They're working day and night around here. So those are really the main Imperial soldier minifigures. Now they throw in a couple pirates. Here's a pirate right here. This is Redbeard the pirate. He has good control over those pirates. He's all over the place. Even though he's in a little ship here, he has a huge ship, the Black Sea Barracuda, that till about 2010 kind of ruled the seas. So we shouldn't feel bad for him. I mean, obviously he's been through a few battles with the leg and the hand thing, but the guy has a good outlook on life, right? He's Mr. Positive. And then we had his little buddy here, who I think his name might be Will. I could be wrong. Kind of rounds out the minifigures. Rare pieces. The one really rare piece of the set is the Governor Broadside. And I guess I'm defining rare because he was only in two sets, the Eldorado Fortress and the 6274, a Clipper here. Isn't that a fine ship right there? And for some reason, when he's on that ship, he wears a yellow feather plume. This one he wears red. I don't know why. It must be his traveling outfit there. So this is the main piece. The other ones are fairly reasonable. Even Lieutenant Marionette, you can collect these pieces, fairly reasonable. I have a pretty good collection of them. I feel like a broken record on these videos. Watch the clips, make sure they are intact. The base plate, again, gives it this great dimensionality. Make sure it's in good shape. That's about it for rare pieces here. It's again, Governor Broadside, I'm still in the show here for that. Let's talk about a factoid for this set. what I found out, that this was produced in created in 1989, and in 1990 they came out with that, and this is very exciting, they came out with a magazine, in my day we called comics, the Golden Medallion. It's 36 pages of pirates versus the soldiers. And I know it's all about this set because on the back it has the Barracuda back here, this ship here, attacking the fort. This is why I said don't feel bad, Redbeard. He has this huge ship that really dwarfs the poor little Clipper. It wasn't until 2010 and 11 when we got the big Imperial ship, which I happen to have, which I feel so happy about. Anyway, the thing that's interesting, look at, the governor here, he looks like he's in pretty good shape. He's been kind of running the fort, running the ship. But when I turn to page 19 of the, comic, let's see here. There's a picture of him, close up, but he looks like he's been eating quite a few turkey wings there. Been put on a few pounds that he needs to work off. So I kind of wondered, well, how did he was he able to work that weight off? I was rooting for him, and so of course I hunted around, and guess what? In 2009, he was a star in a video game, a Nintendo video game that was called Castles, Lego Castles, and I have a photo of him, and he was back to tip-top shape then. So he got a little soft for a while, but all better now. The story of the book basically, and this is where it gets a little interesting too, to me, there's pirate with Redbeard pirate had a best mate, Will, and Will had a crush on the governor's daughter, Camellia, and Will got caught, got put into prison, then escaped. The name Will and the governor, and this all sounds a lot like the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. So I was a little kind of wondering about that. So that's a tidbit. So factoid, you can pick these up secondhand, pretty easy. Just to make sure if you're an English speaker that you get the English copy because it was first printed overseas. Okay, thank you.